Okay. It is November 1st, 2017. In the lunar cycle ito stoy when the cold arrives. And this is going to be an update on Mandy, the broken jaw rattlesnake. For those who have been following her story, you'll know that she's been at my home now just over 5 weeks. She was picked up right at the end of the season as the snakes were moving back to the dens to brumate. She's picked up on the road with her mouth hanging wide open uncontrollably. Looked to me like a scenario where she may have tried to defend herself against a vehicle and tagged the tire and got herself hurt. That's just speculation about what exactly happened, but all we do know is she was on the road. She may have other internal injuries. She may have other injuries inside of her mouth. Her jaw has more or less repaired itself back to where it's mostly closed, although on her right side, the lips don't really come together correctly. This may be because there's some kind of an injury inside of the mouth. I don't know. She has eaten 2 mice at this point, and I think she's ready for a third. One of those mice was bought from a pet store, a supplier. The other one was a house mouse that I caught wild. I'm probably going to go buy her another mouse because I haven't been successful catching any more house mice since. It was suggested to me that I feed her already killed mice from a supplier, where the mice are not going to have parasites, and she's not going to have to risk injury with a live mouse. Right now, I'm not sure that particular advice is something that I'm going to take or not. Certainly, I'm going to continue to give her live mice because I have tried to introduce deceased ones, and she had no interest in them. There's ways to kind of coax that interest, and that's all fine, but I don't know if it's a good idea to teach her to eat dead mice, because, as you know, if you follow my channel, the rattlesnake population in this city is being encroached upon by suburbia, and these snakes are going to be in and around, and already are in and around the homes, eating small birds and mice, around the subdivisions. So what if somebody's using rodenticide and after staying here for a season, Mandy's out there and finds a deceased rodent from rodenticide and decides to eat it because she's been trained to eat dead mice, So I don't think I'm going to go in that direction with the already deceased mice. I also don't know if I'm going to stay away from wild caught mice due to the parasite issue. We're going to partly determine that right now. I don't know if you can see behind her, but to our right side, looking from our perspective at her hut, to the right side of the hut and behind it, there is a recent poop. It's been there now, I think, 2 days. Hopefully it's not too late now to kind of look at it for parasites. I've been, just with the naked eye, I haven't seen anything. This is her second poop. I also have the first one, and I think I'm going to look at both of them, do a little comparative study of both of them. But if she has a lot of parasites, perhaps they'll show up in this poop. The idea about cleansing her of parasites is just another thing that I'm not sure about doing because, again, of the release factor. A cleanse might be alright if she's going to be a domestic snake long term, but if you cleanse her gut culture of some of the bacteria and such that is more parasitic, this could lead to issues for her, I would perceive, down the road when she goes back into release into the coulees. If she arrives in the coulees with a gut culture that can't tolerate now some of the microbes and other parasites and such that she's going to be getting from her food out there, that's no good. You know, you're putting her in a situation like we ourselves are in because of this this culture where we can't even go to a running water source, you know, like a freshwater running stream or something like that, and safely drink from it. A lot of us would get sick doing so because we haven't trained our gut cultures. We haven't introduced the right organisms to it that the other animals have. So we can't even drink naturally occurring water, most of us. I don't want to do that to her. But we will kind of check out and see if she's got any parasites. We will check out that poop right away. As far as what I can tell, Mandy's doing pretty good. However, she's still having mouth issues. She has not started using her tongue as she should be. And yeah, the jaw doesn't line up quite right, but at least she's eating. It looks like she's eating without much difficulty. So her mouth is working in that respect. We just want to make sure that she doesn't end up with any infection in her mouth if she has injury in there. So I'm hoping to kind of catch her on video in the next day or two yawning, so we can have a good look inside that mouth. But yeah, let's take that poop out of there and start looking at that straight away. I don't know if the instrument that I brought to do that with is appropriately long enough. I think I might have to move little Miss Mandy about, or I can move the poop itself, I suppose. Bring it closer, or both. Move her to the back of the terrarium for a moment so that I can grab the poopy. Yeah, I asked Isabel, do you want to take your bath, or do you want to do an update about Mandy and look at her poop with me? She decided to take a bath. Okay, so here are the two poops. This is the one that I just pulled out of her enclosure. This is the one that she did probably 3 weeks ago. And actually this is only half of it. What I noticed as I was setting up for this shot, my magpie must have come by and stolen parts of this, the old one. In fact, it looks like he drug it out here. Here's pieces of it. So he took the furry mouse component. You know, as you can see with this one here, you got a furry dark mouse hair component, and then you also have that other component. Now, in the very first poop that she did, this other component here was it was very bright green when it initially was laid out, which caused me some concern. I thought maybe there was something wrong with her gallbladder, because I have done post-mortems on some roadkill rattlesnakes and saw that their gallbladders start leaking green pretty bad when they're traumatized. don't know why that is, but it seems like most of the snakes that I pull off of the road, if I open them up, their gallbladders are leaking. Anyway, this is a full deal, and probably not one of the mice that I fed her. Not sure, but I'm guessing that it's something, the remains of something that she had in her gut from when she was in the coulee. So it should have lots of parasites in it. If so, if really the wild mice around here are just absolutely full of parasites. But I'm going to check that out. I'm going to dilute it in a little bit of water. I've got some snow melt water here, so it doesn't have chlorine or anything like that in there. And then we're going to look at it through the magnifying glass, and we'll see whether we can observe any kind of potential parasites moving around and stuff. I think I just need a little bit more than that. Yeah, might as well really get things moving around here. You can see more like what the bundle would have been like in her intestines here. Just give it a bit more light here. Yeah, it's definitely mostly hair. In that dark section. The other portion does have some of that bright green in there, and there was some when she initially dropped it too. It was more green than it is now. It's kind of paled out. Alright, I am not seeing anything that looks alive. Stir things up a little bit more here. Suppose I should have been on the ball and did this right away when she did the poop to begin with. Definitely not looking parasite ridden. So I'll try to give you a view. Let's see. You want to hold this?
I know.
Miss Belle is out of her bath. And who did not want to play with poop before.
Nope.
See if I can get a good view of that. Yeah, mostly just hair. I'm concerned about the green though. I don't know if it's normal to have that kind of green, that kind of bilish green, because I haven't had well, I did have a rattlesnake stay with me before, but it didn't ever have that green. So I don't know if that's an indicator of something being wrong or if that's okay. Anyway, things look good to me, so I'm going to continue on.
I know.
Say toodaloo.
Bye.
Get a Matson.